You ever notice how the universe moves like that one auntie who don't rush, but always right? She don't yell, she don't chase, she just sips her tea and lets time expose everybody. That's karma. That's God's favorite sense of humor, silent and undefeated. See, when somebody does you dirty, that ego in your chest starts whispering, handle it yourself. You pacing the floor like, I should call, nah, I should post, nah, I should slash, wait, that's illegal. But somewhere deep down, another voice says, baby, sit down. The universe already sent the invoice because every lie, every manipulation, I didn't say that when they did say that. None of it disappears. It just sits in God's cloud storage, waiting on divine Wi-Fi. When the signal hits, download complete. They think you forgot. You just stopped being the collection agency. And the narcissist, oh, they always think they slick. They out here recycling personalities like old outfits, promising new supplies, that same tired I've changed speech. Meanwhile, the universe sitting on the porch polishing his sandals like, keep talking. Because the moment they think they're above consequence is the moment gravity remembers their address. Let's be real. You wanted revenge. You rehearsed it. You had the outfit picked out for the day you were going to accidentally run into them. But then something shifted. You got tired. Not weak, tired. There's a difference. Weak says, I give up. Tired says, I'm done paying attention to foolishness. That's spiritual maturity. You leveled up from vengeance to vibration. God don't move on pettiness. He moves on pattern. While you sitting there plotting how to get back at them, the universe already got them on a payment plan. Minimum due every month, a mirror. Interest rate, guilt, late fee, loneliness. That's why you don't see karma coming. It's direct deposit. Let me break it down. Revenge is reaction. Karma is correction. Revenge tries to prove a point. Karma is the point. And God is the math behind both. He don't need your help carrying the one. You just stay still long enough and watch how the same energy they used to lie finds them again wearing different clothes. That's called poetic repetition. Happens every time. When you focus on your healing, you become unrecognizable. Folks be like, you changed. Nah, I just stopped performing for the spiritually blind. Healing gives you a new glow. The kind of glow that make your haters squint. The narcissist can't stand that. They'll check your page from fake accounts, trying to decode joy like it's witchcraft. Meanwhile, you out here drinking water, eating peace, and minding business that actually pays. Let me tell you something funny. God got comedic timing. He'll let the narcissist run around like they winning. Then right when they post that I'm so blessed caption, boom, car battery dead, Wi-Fi bill due, best friends start acting funny. That ain't coincidence, that's consequence. The universe just working overtime on the night shift. Now don't lie, you've imagined their downfall. We all have. You pictured them crying to slow jazz, regretting every bad choice. But the real flex isn't seeing them crumble, it's you not even caring when they do. That's evolution. That's when God looks at you like, finally, you got it. Because revenge feeds your ego, peace feeds your purpose. Ego want the crowd, purpose want the crown. The moment you stop trying to prove you were right, you prove you were chosen. That's why peace feels so heavy at first, because it carries authority. And while we at it, let's laugh at how dramatic narcissists get when karma knocks. They'll be like, everyone's turning on me for no reason. Nah, baby, that's not persecution, that's pattern recognition. People finally seeing you the way God saw you when he told me to walk away. You can't lie on a loop and then act surprised when the record skips. See, the universe don't rush. It's patient like a Sunday grandma. It let folks dig their own holes while humming gospel under its breath. And when it's time for justice, it don't even raise its voice. It just flips the switch from fake light to real. Everything built on illusion starts flickering. You just keep walking. That's why it's called a walk of faith, not a drag race. Revenge got speed, peace got stamina. Revenge burns calories, peace builds muscle. You ever seen someone glowing from healing? That's spiritual cardio, baby. Now listen, before we go further, subscribe. Support keeps this truth alive, keeps the NARC OPP growing, keeps these conversations flowing for every person still thinking they gotta fight dirty to heal. And if you need to talk about your own situation one-on-one, send an email to TheNarcOPP@gmail.com. We'll work through it like family. Because what you're learning right now, it's freedom. The kind that can't be stolen or faked. The narcissist didn't break you. They introduced you to boundaries. They taught you to pray with receipts. They thought they were teaching you pain. God was teaching you pattern recognition. So next time you want revenge, just remember, the loudest payback is peace that can't be interrupted. Let them watch you live, laugh, and glow like you ain't never been hurt. That's when karma starts clapping from the balcony, whispering, "We did that." You ever notice how when you finally stop chasing people, your phone gets quiet enough for blessings to find you? That silence you thought was loneliness? Nah, that was God clearing the algorithm. He had to unsubscribe you from chaos so peace could finally slide into your DMs. And that narcissist, they hate quiet. Silence to them feels like handcuffs, because silence means no supply, no audience, no soundtrack for their nonsense. They'll post a new life selfie, but be checking to see if you viewed it. They'll call it freedom, but you can see the panic in the pixels. The thing about karma is it doesn't chase, it strolls. It shows up at the exact moment they think they've escaped. That's when the car won't start, the lie don't land, and the new supply starts asking, "Why does this feel familiar?" Because, sweetheart, it's reruns. The same script, different cast. You left the stage, the play collapsed. Meanwhile, you over there building a new world. You start laughing again, not that nervous chuckle you used to use when they were manipulating you, real full-throated laughter. The kind that scares trauma and confuses your haters. That's God tickling your peace back to life. Healing looks good on you. The glow isn't highlighter. It's relief. You're finally remembering what it feels like to wake up without wondering what mood they're in today. Your mornings belong to coffee and gratitude now. You're not rehearsing pain anymore, you're scheduling joy. And that joy is contagious. Folks at work notice. The lady at the grocery store asks what moisturizer you use, and you just smile because the product is boundaries. You're finally allergic to chaos. That's evolution. Let me break something down for the spiritual scientists in the room. Energy moves like currency. You invested in a bad stock. Somebody who only appreciated while you were paying attention. Once you divested, their market crashed. That's not revenge, that's economics. You don't need to ruin them. Inflation already did, and God got jokes with his timing. He'll wait until you're genuinely over it, then let you bump into them looking like deliverance in human form. You're rested, hydrated, career booming. They still explaining why people keep misunderstanding them. You nod politely, but inside you thanking heaven for spiritual Wi-Fi disconnection. Here's the truth. You can't out-petty the universe. It's undefeated. It invented irony. It'll have the narcissist bragging about a new victim while that victim already Googling what is gaslighting. That's karma on speed dial. You know what else happens when you stop trying to even the score? God starts playing favorites. He upgrades your environment so the old chaos can't breathe there. New friends who pray before brunch. Money showing up from gigs you forgot you applied for. Peace so thick even gossip bounces off it. That's divine security. Revenge makes you a CO star in their tragedy. Peace makes you the executive producer of your own miracle. And miracles got better budgets. You're not even in the same genre anymore. I know some of y'all thinking, but they got away with it. No, they got away from you. That's the blessing. You're the best thing they'll ever mishandle. Let them brag about losing you. That's free advertising for your growth. And while we're here, let's laugh about how karma multitasks. It don't just handle them. It handles your confidence too. You start remembering who you were before the gaslighting, before the walking on eggshells. You stop apologizing for existing. You walk different. You talk like somebody who pays rent in peace. That's the new energy field. Rent paid, stress evicted. Now, I need you to do something for me. Subscribe. Yeah, hit that button. Because these conversations matter. Every like, every share keeps this movement alive, keeps this truth reaching folks who think revenge is healing. And if you're ready for a one-on-one deep dive into your own glow-up journey, you know where to find me. TheNarcOPP@gmail.com. Let's get that energy audit started. Back to our regular scheduled deliverance. The narcissist collapse ain't your business meeting. It's their performance review. And spoiler alert, the boss is true. You just sit there in your peace, drinking your water, and watching the audit happen. They wanted power, they got paperwork. See, God's justice ain't cruel, it's educational. He lets people meet versions of themselves until they finally learn empathy. That's why you ain't gotta curse them. Life gonna tutor them for free. And while they're in remedial humility, you in honor's healing. One day out of nowhere, they'll realize that the peace they mocked is the same peace they crave. And that right there is graduation day for you, not them. Because you'll already be somewhere new, too busy living to read the apology they never sent. The moral of the story, keep laughing, keep glowing, keep walking like favor is GPS locked on your name. Revenge, that's outdated software. You've been upgraded to Grace OS 2. At some point in your healing, you start to notice peace got rhythm. It don't rush, it don't shout, it just slide through the room like old school Ram B. You hear it in the way your morning coffee sound, and the way your laugh come from the stomach instead of the throat, that's when you know God moved you from survival to syllabus. You not just living, you learning. And while you learning, the narcissist still performing. They running the same script with new extras, same lines, same fake tears, same discount charisma. You could almost feel sorry for them, but then you remember how your blood pressure used to jump like double Dutch every time your phone rang. Nah, let the universe direct that rerun. People always ask, but how do I know karma working? Simple, look at your peace. Every time you feel calmer than last week, that's karma processing a refund. The universe doesn't mail receipts, it issues upgrades. You don't need to watch their downfall, just watch your glow. That's proof the system online. The funny part is how folks think karma mean lightning bolts and bad luck. Sometimes karma real subtle, like their Wi-Fi cutting out every time they try to lie on you in a group chat. Or their new boo saying, "You remind me of that story you told about your ex, except you sound like the problem." That's the universe doing data correction. And the moment you stop checking to see if they're suffering is the same moment you start thriving. That's when blessings start flirting with you. Little coincidences pile up. You late for work, but somehow every light green, your rent check clear faster, your playlist hit exactly right. That's God winking. See, I told you I had it. You learn that revenge is a diet that never fills you. You keep eating salt, expecting sweet. Peace though, peace is protein. It builds muscle. It keep you full. You walk around toned in spirit. That's why the narcissists keep trying to re-add you. They miss the nutrition. You was the soul food and they still nibbling on junk. Every time you refuse to engage, you exercising faith. Faith got abs too, you just can't see them yet. Every no you say to chaos is one more sit up toward freedom. That's what self-respect sound like, boundaries clicking shut without explanation. Now don't get me wrong, temptation still knocks. Sometimes you scroll and see something stupid they posted and your thumb hover over that keyboard like one little comment won't hurt. But you breathe. You remember that energy exchange cost too much. You richer now. You ain't swiping that card on nonsense. Instead, you invest. You invest in peace, in therapy, in naps that hit harder than gossip. You hang out with folks who don't need an audience to be kind. You laugh again without explaining why. That's prosperity you can't counterfeit. Meanwhile, the universe start cross-checking records. All that false charm they threw around, audit time. People they lied start comparing notes. The math ain't mathing anymore. They start mumbling, "I don't know why everyone acting weird." Baby, everyone not acting weird. They reading the syllabus of your consequences. Class in session. And you the example of extra credit. Because you didn't just survive, you turned it into curriculum. You teaching folks through your piece that God handled customer service. You ain't gotta file a complaint, the refund already pending. Now pay attention because this is the part where God shows out. He don't send thunder, he send favor so loud it sound like applause. Jobs open, health bounce back. People who doubted you start asking for advice. That's divine comedy. The same mouths that called you crazy now quoting you in group chats. It hit different when you realize forgiveness ain't weakness. It's spiritual recycling. You turned trash into testimony. You took what tried to poison you and brewed tea out of it. Sip slow, baby, it's organic healing. Sometimes you'll get that random thought, do they ever think about me? And the answer is yes, but not how you think. They think about the peace they can't replicate. They think about the mirror they avoided. Every time a good person tries to love them, they hear your laugh echoing, reminding them what authenticity sounded like. That's karma whispering through memory. You on another frequency now. Revenge can't even reach you. It's too low bandwidth. You streaming in 4K fake surround sound purpose. They still buffering in ego. That's the technological difference between growth and repeat. And right here is where I remind you again, subscribe. Keep this vibration circulating. Somebody out there need to hear that the universe already scheduled their justice. And if you want to dig into your own healing one-on-one, email TheNarcOPP@gmail.com. Let's make sure your energy plan paid in full. Because the truth is, peace ain't passive, it's performance art. It's you waking up daily, choosing not to entertain what you outgrew. It's you cracking jokes at your own trauma like, look at me, doing better than my triggers expected. That's joy. That's divine defiance. The universe love a good laugh. It'll let you run into your ex's friend at the grocery store right when you look amazing and got extra glow. They'll be like, wow, you look good. And you just say, yeah, peace fit me better. Walk away slow. Let the fragrance of freedom linger. What revenge could beat that? You learn that the opposite of revenge isn't forgiveness, it's focus. When your eyes face forward, your blessings can finally catch up. And when they do, Lord, the view worth every tear you ever shed. You stand on healed ground, looking back like, I almost fought over this, I almost lost myself over that. Then you laugh because growth got jokes too. The narcissist collapse don't need your commentary. The universe already writing the captions. Live by manipulation, die by exposure, lie about peace, cry about karma. You ain't gotta post nothing, existence already subtweeting them. Keep walking. The further you go, the funnier life gets. Because joy after chaos got punchlines built in. You, the comeback story, and the comic relief. God wrote this season with your humor in mind. You just had to live long enough to see it air. By the time you hit this part of the journey, you start laughing at how wild your old life looked. You can't even believe you used to argue with folks who don't believe in soap or accountability. You ever look back at old messages and think, wow, I really debated a demon with punctuation? Growth will have you embarrassed and proud at the same time. Now you see things clear. You see that revenge was never the real desire. You just wanted validation. You wanted them to say, yeah, I messed up. But people that broke and don't confess, they deflect. That's why God had to remove you before you lost your sense of worth, trying to get a testimony out of somebody still in denial. What happens next is beautiful. You become allergic to nonsense. You can smell manipulation like smoke. Somebody start trauma dumping or playing the victim, and your spirit goes, nope, not my circus. That's spiritual maturity. You stop attending every argument you're invited to. You stop volunteering for unpaid emotional internships. The best revenge is peace that doesn't even post. You don't need to show nobody your healing. It's showing itself. You glowing like a soft launch from heaven. People feel your peace before they even hear your name. And the narcissist, oh, they feel it too. They sense your frequency changing and panic like a phone losing service. They start sending them, hey, just checking in texts, like peace got a grace period. Nah, baby, this subscription expired. The universe be funny. It waits until you truly done, then lets them trip on their own blueprint. That same charm they used on you starts glitching. Their stories stop lining up. Their fake empathy starts buffering. That's divine software malfunction. They've been running scams on emotional dial-up, and karma just unplugged the router. Meanwhile, you out here thriving in 5 grams grace. You're building, resting, glowing. You stop chasing closure because you realize God already gave you new doors. Every time you say no to chaos, you hear a quiet ding somewhere in the heavens, new blessing unlocked. Let's talk about that glow up for a second, because it's the funniest part. You ever notice how after you heal, you look younger? That's not skincare, that's stress eviction. Your peace done repossessed your cheekbones. You got your melanin back, your confidence back, your good sleep back. You literally out here reversing aging like a Benjamin Button testimony. That's why they mad. They losing hair, you losing trauma. Fair trade? Absolutely. Here's the science. Cortisol ages you. Drama dehydrates your soul. Revenge keeps stress hormones high. But forgiveness? Forgiveness is a spa day for your DNA. Your cells here let it go and start playing Luther Vandross. God designed biology to agree with faith. You let go, your body follows suit. So when they try to come back acting spiritual, talking about I've been doing the work, just remember, healing ain't a costume, it's a frequency. If their vibes still sound like confusion, that's the devil in disguise with Wi-Fi. Don't log in. And look, sometimes the universe sends tests just to make sure you learned. You'll see someone new with a familiar flavor of foolishness. They'll say something that sounds too much like your ex. You'll get that deja vu itch. That's the pop quiz. You answer by walking away faster this time. Growth means you still see the pattern, you just exit before it loops. By now, laughter has become your weapon. You laugh at the audacity, the irony, the full circle poetry of it all. You laugh because you finally understand that what looked like punishment was preparation. God wasn't breaking you, he was editing your cast. You had too many background actors trying to steal scenes. Sometimes the funniest karma is peace you don't broadcast. The narcissist looking for proof you're miserable, and you somewhere dancing in your kitchen, singing off key, burning pancakes, living your best soft life. They'll be online subtweeting about fake people, and you just like, if the shoe fits, return it. I ain't paid for it. Let me remind you, God's comedy writers deserve awards. He'll let them post a whole motivational quote about loyalty right before the person they lying to finds out the truth. He'll let them announce new beginnings just as their old patterns hit reply. That's divine stand-up, the timing immaculate. You, on the other hand, are learning to live easy. You stop making peace prove itself. You stop confusing chaos with chemistry. You started building routines that actually feed your purpose. Morning gratitude instead of morning anxiety, sleep instead of surveillance, love that doesn't make you decode paragraphs. The lesson was never revenge. It was redirection. God had to take that narcissist away so you could see you were the blessing the whole time. You were praying for their transformation when you were the miracle in the equation. You don't chase miracles, miracles chase you. Every day now, you walk through life like, I wish them healing, but from far away, like Wi-Fi signal far. That's maturity. You can love humanity without babysitting toxicity. You can forgive the devil without friending him back. People start telling you you changed, and you say, good, that was the point. Because every healed person looks unrecognizable to folks who knew them broken. You out here speaking softly, but carrying discernment like a sword. The devil don't even test you the same no more. He got PTSD from your boundaries, and you deserve to laugh about it. Because joy is protest. Every giggle after grief is a revolution. Every healed black laugh shakes systems that counted you out. You laughing in color now, you the proof that God got rhythm. So stay light, let peace do the heavy lifting. Don't argue, ascend. Don't clap back, glow back. Revenge is expired energy. Love yourself so loud the whole block catch vibrations. You reach a point where you stop chasing explanations and start collecting peace, like frequent flyer miles. You've traveled through every stage, hurt, anger, clownery, healing, and now you're landing smooth in wisdom. It's peaceful up here, quiet like Sunday morning when the biscuit's almost done. That's when you notice something. The world start mirroring your new energy. People who used to drain you stop calling. Opportunities show up like, hey stranger, even your playlist change. It's like the universe DJing your comeback. That's divine curation, baby. God got taste. The narcissists, they don't even make sense in your story anymore. They're the dusty prequel nobody watched. Their names sound foreign in your healed vocabulary. You mention them only for educational purposes. Once upon a trauma vibes. And life funny because every time you truly release them, karma hit replay on your blessings. Money flows smoother. Health get right. Your skin start auditioning for commercials. That's not coincidence. That's divine reimbursement. You put in suffering hours, God cutting the check. Let's talk about divine petty for a second. Because God do have a sense of humor. You'll be minding your business, scrolling online, and there they go posting quotes about accountability with not an ounce of self-awareness. You don't even get mad. You just sip your drink and whisper, look at God giving me free entertainment. Revenge couldn't buy this peace. Revenge would have kept you checking their page, trying to measure misery. But peace got you checking your reflection, measuring growth. And baby, growth fits you perfect. That's couture confidence, custom made by healing. You stop needing closure because God gave you perspective. You realize closure ain't an event, it's a decision. You wake up one day, look at your old pain and go, that no longer build me. That's when you know the balance sheet clean. And while you're over here thriving, they trying to reinvent themselves using your old traits. They copy your compassion, your style, your slang, but it never land right. You can't duplicate authenticity. It's like bootleg perfume. It stink louder when it's cheap. The universe don't let fraud smell like favor. There's something powerful about realizing God's justice doesn't need witnesses. It ain't televised. It's interior work. You'll never see all their consequences, but you'll feel your release. That's enough. You're not their karma accountant. You a shareholder in serenity. You start getting random blessings that make no sense. Stuff that don't even line up with logic. That's the universe paying you in interest and laughter. You'll find money in old jackets. Run into people who open doors you didn't knock on. That's divine compensation. You ever been so at peace that chaos looked like a foreign language? Somebody try to start mess and you just blink like, I don't even speak that dialect anymore. That's mastery. That's what happens when you graduate from reaction school. The truth is, revenge was never your ministry. You too anointed for pettiness. The devil tried to trick you into becoming what hurt you, but you passed that test. You stayed loving when it wasn't fair. You stayed kind when it wasn't returned. And that's why favor follows you like good lighting. When the narcissist world finally crumbles, don't clap, don't gloat. Just nod like lesson delivered. Because what's coming for them ain't punishment, it's tutoring. Life gonna teach them empathy through experience. They're gonna meet somebody who treats them exactly how they treated you. That's divine math, symmetry. And the beautiful part, you won't even have time to notice. You'll be too busy living, too busy laughing, too busy thriving. The narcissist's collapse happens off camera while your blessings stream in HD. You become the soft life sermon, the living testimony. Now, before I keep going, let's pause for community. Subscribe, yeah, hit that. Support keeps this message alive, keeps the NARCOPP pushing. Somebody out there still trying to clap back instead of heal, and your share might be their sign. And if you want to go deeper one-on-one, email TheNarcOPP@gmail.com. Let's build your peace plan together. Back to the divine script. Revenge is human, but redefinition is holy. You redefine what love means by surviving deceit without becoming bitter. You redefine strength by crying and still showing up. You redefine value by not selling your peace for validation. That's revolutionary healing. And the best revenge story ever told is your glow up. You walk in proof that God writes better endings than trauma. Every laugh, every goal, every picture of you smiling with no explanation, that's karma's favorite billboard. You out here sponsored by Serenity. Let's not lie, sometimes you still think about sending that "I told you so" text, but then you remember the Wi-Fi bill due and decide peace cheaper. Growth got you budgeting energy like money. You only invest in things that bring returns, peace, laughter, naps, purpose. You start realizing life funny when you choose joy. Every time you laugh, you reclaim land from pain. You start owning emotional real estate again. You ain't renting your happiness to nobody. You the landlord of your peace now, and the lease say no narcissists allowed. And you know what? That's when you finally see God's sense of humor in your story. The full circle moments, the poetic justice, the effortless blessings. You see that you never lost. You were just being rerouted. Detours build direction. Every delay was divine editing. So smile. You're the punchline to pain. You're the joke karma tells when it clock out. You're proof that nothing meant to destroy you can survive your purpose. Somewhere in the middle of all that healing, you wake up one morning and realize you don't even think about them anymore. Like, not even a flicker. You sipping coffee, sun peeking through the blinds, and you just start laughing because peace done pulled up like, you ready now? That's the graduation moment. You didn't just survive, you transformed. You stop replaying the old movie because you finally see yourself as the writer. You ain't that wounded character no more. You the director with final cut privileges. That's what happens when you give God editing rights. He delete whole scenes you were trying to rewrite because he know how the story ends. You used to ask, why did they hurt me? Now you say, thank you for teaching me what not to entertain. That's mastery. The moment you bless what broke you, it loses power. It becomes fertilizer. Pain turned to growth, turned to peace, turned to comedy. Look at God doing stand-up through your testimony. You see, the universe got a way of balancing books. You just got to stop auditing pain like it owe you money. The narcissists living on borrowed energy. Their life got late fees stacked up to heaven. And God don't send reminders. He send reality checks. Sooner or later, they cash in one they can't cover. Meanwhile, you stacking gratitude. Every thank you is spiritual income. Every act of forgiveness is a tax write-off of your soul. That's divine economics. You operating in abundance now. You can afford to love without fear, give without exhaustion, laugh without trauma hiding behind it. You spiritually debt-free. Everywhere you go, peace precedes you like security detail. Doors open easier. People smile more. The world adjusts to your healed frequency. That's what God meant when he said he prepared a table before you. Folks that threw shade now eating humble pie while you dining on purpose. That's not revenge. That's reservation. Sometimes you still feel that tiny sting when you remember certain moments, but even that pain feel different. It don't ache anymore. It informed. Pain became your GPS. It guided you straight to self-respect. And now you carry that quiet confidence that can't be faked. You walk in testimony that redemption got rhythm. The funniest part, the narcissists think they forgot you, but energy don't work that way. Your peace echo, your absence echo. Every time they try to recreate what you brought, it short circuits. They can't download light with dirty hands. That's karma's firewall. spiritual tech support at its finest. Now you operating in legacy mode. You healing others just by existing out loud. Every joke, every post, every time you choose peace publicly, somebody watching says, if they can survive that, maybe I can too. You're a ripple in God's comedy routine, the laugh track for other people's healing. That's purpose. And here's the truth. Revenge could never deliver what grace just gave you. Revenge feeds the moment. Grace feeds generations. You done upgraded from payback to purpose. That's the kind of glow that break generational curses, while you just minding your business and moisturizing. You don't chase applause anymore. You attract alignment. Everything fits now. Even the bad chapters got bars in them. You reread your story like, dang, this really was a setup for a sequel. You're not bitter. You booked and balanced. And through it all, the universe kept its promise. God never left. He just waited until you got tired of holding grudges heavier than your blessings. The moment you dropped revenge, your hands were free to receive miracles. That's the joke of it all. The gift been waiting. You were just holding pettiness in the gift spot. So now walk with your head up. Smile like the sun know your name. Laugh in full sentences. You are living proof that love outlasts manipulation, that peace outdances pain, that karma don't miss deadlines. You don't need revenge. You're the evidence that divine timing got aim. And before we close, do me one favor. Subscribe. Keep this message alive. Somebody needs to know God's already handling it. And if you're ready to break your own cycle, email TheNarcOPP at gmail.com. And we'll start building your blueprint for peace. Because this movement isn't just a channel, it's a revolution in energy. Now breathe. The worst already taught you the best parts of yourself. Let the universe do the rest. The narcissist's karma ain't your concern anymore. Your joy is. You ain't losing sleep over collapse you didn't cause. You resting easy in divine coverage. Because listen, you don't need revenge. You never did. You got rhythm, reason, and receipts from God himself. You got the whole cosmos conspiring to make sure your peace stay paid up. That's the real glow up. This is the NARCOPP. Your peace is the proof. Your energy causes collapse. God got your cover. Thank you for watching, for laughing, and for healing out loud with me. Now go ahead and live so bright the devil needs shades.